Hi, everyone. Welcome back to Connect. I'm your host, Andy Hale. Can't believe it's been a week already since we had our first episode, and I'm so glad to be back. Last week, we talked about the power of a personal connection. And I talked about how we underestimate the power of sitting with somebody face to face and basically sharing our energy with that person, sharing our vibration, how incredible that is, and how you can't replicate it through other forms of communication, whether it's a Zoom call or a phone call. And I was really encouraging people to make the personal connection face to face. Today, I want to talk a little bit about how to stay connected, which I also think is really important. You know, we're all so busy. At least we think we are, right? Read The 4 Hour Work Week by Tim Ferriss. You might not be as busy as you think you are, but what we do is we get in our mind that we're just so busy, we've got no time for anything else. Oh, I couldn't possibly take a break, you know? I say pause, hit the pause button. And I don't care how busy you are. I don't care what's on your to-do list that day. And I don't care what day of the week it is. There is any day, you could pick any day, and you have time that day to either meet somebody before work for coffee, to meet somebody for lunch, doesn't have to be a long lunch, to meet somebody after work for a drink. You could do that every single day. You convince yourself you can't. You claim, oh, I'm so busy. I've got to get this project done. You can always fit that in there. And I would argue that fitting in that coffee or that lunch or that drink is actually going to be more important than whatever project you were working on. That project's going to be there. Obviously, if you got a deadline, you got to do that. But carving out the time to stay connected to people is going to serve you well and be much more important in the long run than spending the extra 15 minutes working on that memo or drafting that email that could have been sent and you had plenty of time to connect with other people you know. So I really want people to realize it's important. Carve out that time for yourself and for your connections. Make those connections either before, like I said, coffee, lunch, drinks, whatever. It's all super important. But I want to offer another little tip today that I just did that I really, really liked. Sometimes it's not possible to make a personal connection. The most obvious example is for friends and family that are not local. You might have a grandmother that lives, 1,000 miles away, other relatives or other friends. And it's just not possible, right, to meet them face to face as much as you would love to. Let me give you an idea. I just did this. The postcard. This is gold to me. This is just gold. Here's my inspiration for it. I was going to visit my mother, my 89-year-old mother, last week. God bless her. She's doing great. And I get her mail for her on her way up. I stop at her little mailbox. I bring the mail up. And in that mail was a postcard from my nephew. So my nephew wrote it to my grandmother. He lives in New York. My mom's in Chicago. And it's just a nice little note, saying, hey, grandma, just checking in, et cetera. A couple little lines. That hit me. It was such a great little connection. And when I handed that postcard to my mom, I could see her face light up, getting that postcard in her hand, holding it, feeling it. And I thought, this is such a great idea. So I went out and I did a little postcard shopping. You can go online. I mean, there are a million postcards you could get out there and you can create your own design if you want. I found one, I'm looking at it right now, and it was the perfect little message that I wanted to send. It's got orange and yellow, like rays of sun on it. And all it says on the front of the postcard is sending you sunshine. And I thought this is going to be the perfect postcard. I'm going to mail this to some friends. And I just wrote a little simple message on there like, hey, how's life? Hope all is well. Signed my name. And here's the incredible part. For the price of a stamp, I think a postcard stamp is 51 cents. A regular stamp, 66 cents. For 51 cents, somebody will take your handwritten postcard and hand deliver it to anybody you tell them to anywhere in the country. How amazing. We take that for granted. How amazing is that? For 51 cents, I can write a postcard to somebody anywhere in the country, and somebody will hand deliver it to their house. That is absolutely amazing. And so I sent these postcards out just last week, just a few days ago, to a bunch of my friends. And it's a way to basically say, just to kind of connect, to stay connected, to let somebody know you're thinking of them, just checking in. Hey, how's it going? You know what it does? It keeps that connection. It's like having something on like the back burner, right? You don't want the flame to go out. It's so easy to lose touch with people. And this is a great way to kind of stay in somebody else's vibration, they're going to be thinking of you. And believe me, getting a postcard, when somebody gets it, there's such a bigger impact. You're first of all surprised, you're delighted, you hold it in your hands. It just resonates. And what you're doing is you're creating uh, a stay connection. I'll call it a stay connection. You're staying connected with these friends of yours, friends and family. And you could just do this periodically. Do it periodically with anybody you know. I especially encourage it for, loved ones, people you don't talk to as much as you wanted to. The power of a postcard is just incredible. And it's just so simple. It's just so simple. Email is fine, but I just think email is a lot less personal. The postcard has that personal touch to it. If for some reason you can't do a postcard, it's still great if you can send somebody an email and just say, hey, simple message. How are things going? Haven't talked to you in a while, thinking of you. What's new? We just don't take the time to pause and reach out to people. And I would make a list. Make a list of all the people that you haven't talked to in a while that you'd like to talk to. Write all those names down and say, you know what? Put that on your to-do list. This week, I'm going to reach out to all these people. Maybe there's some you want to call on the phone. Maybe there's some you want to email. And I encourage you for some to send a postcard. But find the time. You are never too busy. I don't want to hear this excuse. I don't have time. And for those people that are close to you, location-wise, reach out for coffee, have lunch, have that drink after work. That's going to be so rewarding. You always have time. So not only do you have to make a personal connection, I encourage you to stay connected. Stay connected to those people. You know what? That person you send a postcard to, now you're on their radar screen. You'd be amazed. Not only have you made a deeper connection, but you watch, maybe in a week or two, that person reaches back out and now an opportunity comes about. Maybe there's an opportunity to work together on something. There's an opportunity in some other way. There's a collaboration. There's an idea. You're planting the seed, right? And I guarantee you, by doing this, by staying connected, you're going to deepen your relationships and you're going to create more opportunities. Trust me. Try it and let me know. If you've got any great stories, we're going to have a podcast website where you can share results. I'd love to hear about them, but I encourage everybody out there, stay connected. So that's the message for this week. I encourage everybody out there, stay connected. It's going to be so beneficial for your relationships, for your friends, for your family, and it's going to lead to more opportunities. I'll be back next week with a whole new episode of Connect, talking about how to create opportunities. That's going to be a fun one. I've got a lot to say about that. This show was produced by Phineas Ellis and Studio Friends. Design and promotion by Bell and Ivy. I'm your host, Andy Hale. We'll see you next week.